Here is what I learned the very first month on Airbnb, and I'm telling you something, this video is going to be power-packed with value, tips, tricks, and strategies all the way through, and what I've learned from when I first started back in 2016 till today, and literally becoming the #1 Airbnb coach in the United States. So share with you and take this into your own business, whether you're just beginning into Airbnb or you are a seasoned Airbnb host. The first thing is this: pets and little children. Now, we can't decline little children, but try to limit children under the age of 3. The reason for it is not that it's bad, it's just that sometimes they can puke on the floors, they can crap on the floors, and also a kid decided they were going to do a drawing class on my brand new stainless steel refrigerator. Pets, let me share you a statistic. Over 25 to 30% of travelers actually bring their furry friend with them. So in the beginning, I didn't know. I said no pets because I thought that the ratio between having a pet and the destruction of the property would be not beneficial, but realized later, if you allow a small little furry friend, it actually is a lot better and you're gonna get a lot more bookings because that's 30% of the revenue you could potentially be losing. Okay, let's talk about the next thing, and that is instant book. I didn't know in the beginning. What I was doing is I turned off instant booking. When I'm on instant booking, this is my opinion, you will get a lot more bookings by doing this. And that brings me to the cancellation policy while you're putting your profile together. I, in the beginning, wanted to be very strict. I was like, no, nobody's going to be able to get a refund if they, decide they want to cancel last minute, XYZ. Here's what I've learned. There's a flexible and there's a strict. When you're on Airbnb, use the one that says flexible, which means within that 5-day period before their booking, they can cancel and get a full refund. That leads me into smart pricing. When you guys are doing your pricing in the Airbnb app or website, think about the pricing. There's a button that says smart pricing. Now what it does is it takes other Airbnbers, right? And it says, what should this be priced on based on the city, based on the demand, based on weekends, based on holidays. What it doesn't account for is events, sporting events, etc. So what we do is we leave the smart pricing on, and you can then go in and just manually change for sporting events. You can actually do holidays as well. I mean, I don't really think it does a great job on the holiday section as well. So say probably up 35 to 40% from what your normal price is. So think about the holidays and then just go in and make sure those prices are significantly higher in the future because of the demand that people are going to want to be traveling during those times of holidays. And that leads me to the description, and this is very important. In the beginning, I had no clue. I was just putting a paragraph there about the property. Here's what you want to do. You want to have your description in bullet point form. So what the property should read is this: free with the property, ... and then list out 5 things. I'll give you a few right now. Free fast Wi-Fi, free Hulu, free Netflix, free parking. And then you can have a paragraph underneath that. It gives you 500 characters about your description, and that's where you're gonna have a paragraph under about the beautiful property and the surrounding areas. Okay, let's go to title while we're there. The title should have as many amenities inside of it for SEO purposes, which is search engine optimization. So in your title, you might put something like new renovation, hot tub, star, king bed, star, pool. This is going to rank you because when people are searching, I'll give you the top 3 people that search. Right now, when you're a traveler, the top 3 things that people search for are pools #1, hot tubs #2, and actually a workstation #3, king beds #4, and game rooms #5. And so if you can put as many of those inside the title that fit, you're gonna rank when people search for you. And that's gonna lead me right into the pictures. You have what they call a hero picture, which is the main photo about your property. The most valuable real estate that you have in Airbnb is that main picture. Look what everybody else is doing. Go to Airbnb as a traveler and see what everybody else is doing in your area as far as when you go to search. Go to search and just type in, say, example, Philadelphia. That's where your property is gonna be. Go search for the same bedrooms and bathrooms. Look in Airbnb, see what the prices are, but also look at the pictures. Look at the occupancy based on those pictures. And then basically do the opposite. So if I see a bunch of people that have pictures, their hero photo, it's the main one, if they are having that as the inside of the property, I'm gonna put mine up that's the color difference of a vibrant part of the city as my hero photo. So it stands out from everybody else's boring inside the living room picture. Also, Then next 4 pictures after, when you're putting your profile together, after the main hero photo are very important, that it's not just 4 pictures that are boring about the kitchen or the living room. You want the 4 best pictures throughout the whole place to be the next 4. Hero photo and the next 4 best pictures of the property right in a row, because that's what people see when they're on the listing. I didn't know this in the beginning. Snacks and wine. So here's what we do. We put out, granola bar, 2 waters, and maybe some type of candy. And then we also, every stay, a nice bottle of wine with 2 glasses with a note that says, enjoy a free bottle of wine on us. And I will tell you something, it goes a long way when you do certain things like that to get 5-star reviews. The name of this game is to rank high on the first page of Airbnb. And one way to do that is get a bunch of 5-star reviews. I will tell you, while I'm on the 5-star kick, if you go cheap on the bed itself and you go cheap on the pillows, just expect a lot of 1 and 2-star reviews. If you do a really nice pillows, right, a soft and medium and a hard, so people like different, firms, and you do a really nice mattress, I don't care about the sheets, really nice mattress itself, I promise you, you will get better reviews. There's 2 little tips right there. This thing is full with gems, and if you haven't got literally amount of gems that I'm telling you something, I'm blowing your mind right now. I know you're like, damn, how did the hell are you gonna give me all? Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Investor Mike. I come to you every single day to make sure that you win in the game of Airbnb and Airbnb arbitrage. Subscribe right now, and thank you guys for giving me a thumbs up on this video. All right, also, how about an Uber card? People are coming in for 3 to 4 days. They're not typically gonna eat in the property, right? They're not gonna eat there. So what if you just booked an Uber and the driver gave you a stack of $20 Uber cards? This is a massive tip right here. What we do is we take the Uber card and we put it right next to the bottle of wine and snacks, and we say this, here's a ride on us. That little small little detail right there, when people are putting their, when they're writing back about a testimonial about the property and they're giving us a review, has always been, thank you for the card, thank you for the wine, I appreciate it. Like that kind of stuff goes a long way, and people will come back and back and back and stay at your place because it's the small things that matter. And that leads me into this. Cleaners versus hiring cleaners versus you cleaning it yourself. Let's go in 3 levels. Number 1, you clean the property yourself. Now, if you decide that you are in the area and you want to go clean the property, obviously you're saving that money that's going to be in your profit because you're doing it yourself. You're trading your time to save that, whatever it is, 60 to 150, depending on the size of the property. You're saving that money on every clean. The second option is get on Indeed, and you can actually train somebody to clean the property for 20 bucks an hour. So we have a cleaning company. We train these cleaners to go in at $20 an hour. And so where normally, which is step 3, where you're gonna hire a company to do it, they're gonna be 2 to 3 times the price. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, they might be 200 bucks, 175 to 200 bucks. Whereas if you have somebody that you hired yourself at 20 bucks an hour, that same 3-hour clean is only 60 bucks versus 160 bucks. Now you've saved $100 on every clean, and let's say you have 6 to 7 cleans, that's $600 to $700 extra that could go in your pocket versus somebody else's. You ever hear that statement before? We leave the lights on? The reason for that is because when people come into your Airbnb, they want to know that it's bright, airy, and light. Turn the lights all on if they're going to be there. Tell your cleaners, put the lights on, make it homely, not so somebody's got to come in and flip all the lights and it's all dark and hot instead. No. Put the room temperature on 72, turn all the lights on, and make sure that your hot tub is hot. Number 1, most landlords, and I teach arbitrage, whether you're buying the property or you're renting the property from a landlord and getting their permission, most landlords have no problem with you putting a hot tub in the backyard. And so, listen to this. You can go to Costco's, BJ's, Amazon, and you can get these hot tubs for $500. They plug in just like a hairdryer. Now let me tell you what this does. The average you can increase your rate per night is somewhere between $25 and $40 just by having a hot tub. For example, if you had a 70% occupancy, it would pay itself off in the very first month. In my opinion, it is the best investment that you will ever make in an Airbnb. Okay, and this leads me to the last thing, which is the money. And for educational purposes only, because everybody's background and situation is different, I don't make income claims on everybody making a certain amount of money, but I'm gonna give you the breakdown so you understand how cash on cash works. This is just for illustration purposes and only for that reason, okay? If you rent a place for $2,000 a month, let's say this is a rental property, landlord's looking for $2,000 per month, we're gonna sign a 2-year lease with them. Not 1, 2. So let's just use that example right there where it's $2,000. Okay, now, if you're gonna rent the place for $2,000, then what we wanna do is we wanna factor in how much we're gonna charge per night. So let's, for this illustration, say that the rental price is $200 per night, okay? $2,000 rental, and we're gonna charge $200 a night for someone to stay because we have our hot tub in there. $200 per night. Now, what if you just got an occupancy of 70%? What that basically means is how much of the month was occupied and actually booked out, okay? Our properties now, like in the beginning, they were not. They were in the 30s and 40%. Now we're sitting 75, 80%, 90%, right now actually 90%, but we stay all year long very, very occupied. If it's $2,000 a month and you're renting it for one night at $200 and 70% of the month is booked, which is 21 days, you take your 21 days and you multiply that times the daily rate because you're only renting it for 21 out of 30 days, that's 70%. 200 times 21 is $4,200. Now follow me on this. 4,200 came in minus your rent of $2,000 that the landlord needed to be paid, minus about $200 for utilities and cable, and maybe a few snacks. That would leave in this example about $1,800 to $2,000 profit. Rinse and repeat. Go get another rental, do the same thing, another rental, do the same thing, and that's why arbitrage is extremely scalable because we don't have to go to banks, has nothing to do with your credit score, has nothing to do with your experience, has nothing to do with how long you've been working in Airbnb, has nothing to do with how many Airbnbs you have, or even if you don't have a whole lot of time. This is what I teach. This, my friends, is everything you need right there, what I just shared with you, to really have a gauge of not only how to put your profile together, but some of the inside tips that we do. We put these easel mirrors, the ones where ladies sit down and the mirror can be picked up and moved around so they can put their makeup on anywhere. We're gonna put green plants in all the bedrooms because green makes people happy. So you got a bright area. There's about 5 or 6 pillows that go on every bed that are gonna be colorful. You're gonna do an accent wall behind the master bed, and that brings me to a king bed because you want 1 king bed per 3 rooms. And that leaves me with that accent wall with being a pastel color that goes behind the master so it separates in the pictures. Listen guys, it's very important that this is a hospitality business and you run it the right way. My job is to give you all the information so that you can effectively go out and start doing this on your own. I've helped tens of thousands of people in my life with different coaching things that I've done, and you would be no different. If you need help at all, message me the word Airbnb in comments, and I will personally reach out to you so I can help you. Let's go.